All right, I think I am live again. Okay, I appreciate you guys hanging in there with us as we are going through these technical difficulties. Facebook just dropped me from that last one. So I think I'm live again. If you guys can let me know if you are back, and I appreciate you coming back and being very patient as I go through this process with you guys. All right. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so Jason's there. He can hear me and see me. Hopefully everybody's getting a notification that I'm back. And let's go back to my slides. Okay, Shonda, yes. How about now? Let's try this now. Can everybody can hear me okay and see me okay? I'm going to get started. I'm going to jump right into it because we're already 8 minutes in and I want to, hey, from Vancouver. So if you guys are rejoining me, go back into the comments. Let me know you're here and let me know where you're from. And also share a little bit about what you're thinking about creating when it comes to online courses. And the reason I wanted to share that is because sometimes we think our ideas are silly. And when we see like all the ideas that are out there, and when you see what, people are creating courses around, like there's no silly ideas here. So again, share in the comments who you are, where you're from, and what you're thinking of creating. Because I'd love to hear, and I'm sure everybody else would love to hear as well. All right, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm Shayna. Hi guys, I'm Shayna, and I am a wife. I have my amazing husband Jason, who is on this with us and watching, and he is my technical assistant. And I am also a mom of 3 humans. I am a mom of a dog, and I'm a mom of a cat. And we have a big family, and we love it. It's very busy and an exciting time. We have 2 teenagers. My son actually just took the car for the first time by himself. Oh my God, to take it to work. And so it's a lot going on here. Things are busy, but we love it. I'm also a business coach. I love everything online business. I love strategy. I love talking through, concepts and ideas, and I love visualizing these kinds of things for myself, but also other people. So it's something that I'm really, really love doing. I also own an MLM business as well. Any MLMers out there? And that's actually how I got started into becoming an entrepreneur. Is I started with my MLM business. It taught me a few things about becoming an entrepreneur, definitely got me online sharing, and that actually moved me into what I am doing today. I love coffee. I love wine. I love anything with cheese, all the bad things. That is me. And if you guys are jumping on watching this tonight, I would love it. Let's be Insta friends. You can find me on Instagram at Shayna Recker. And if you do screenshot anything or take any pictures and want to share this, I'm always grateful for the shares. And you can use the hashtag Shayna Recker if you do want to share anything. And that way I can reshare it as well on my profile and stuff. So that's a little bit about me. You guys, I remember creating my first online course. I remember starting my business. And the first thing that I did was like, okay, I need to create a program. I need to create something for people to learn from me. And I was too afraid to do private coaching, and I was too afraid to do a mastermind or group coaching. I actually didn't even really know how to do those kind of things. But I did know how to do online. Well, I didn't really know how to do it, but I had been exposed to online courses. Because how many of you guys have purchased an online course? How many of you guys have bought something online that has, you've paid for and it gave you some sort of training? I'm curious to see. I'm probably going to ask you that question again. And so for me, that was like the only thing that I was really confident at the time in my abilities to actually create. And I have to say, in creating that course, you guys, it really gave me so much confidence in starting my business, because once I created the course and people actually bought it from me, you guys, I sold over $2,000 in courses in my first 48 hours of launching that course. I was like, oh my gosh, people actually will, like, they trust me. They want to learn from me and they'll buy from me. And so that really changed my confidence level in putting myself out there as an online business coach. So that was why I started with the course. And I think it's a great place for newer entrepreneurs who want to show up in the online space and be like a coach or whatever. It's a great place to start to get your feet wet. So you guys, I'd love if you can, when you join and stay till the end, I have a gift for you that I'm going to give you at the end of this. I'm going to be sharing some common mistakes that people make when it comes to online courses. And I'm going to give you guys time to ask questions. In fact, if you have questions that come up as we go here, feel free to just put them in the comments and I can scroll back and see if I can find them. But I'm actually going to prompt you to ask questions near the end so that I can gather them all close in one space. And I also have a really time-sensitive opportunity to continue to help you with your business after this free class is over. So I'm going to share that with you guys as well. So you're here watching this because of one of three reasons. Number one, you have an idea for a course and you are ready to move on it. If that's you, type a number one in the comments. Like you're like, I've been thinking about this for so long. It's finally time to make this happen. If that's you, you're in the right place because I'm really going to show you what you need to get started. Or you're probably here. Most of you guys are probably here because you're thinking about maybe making a course. You've got a couple ideas rolling around your head, but you're not quite sure if you're ready to take action on them yet. If that sounds familiar, if that sounds like you, type a number two in the comments. This is where I was really when I started building my course. I was like, I knew I wanted to do this. I kind of had an idea of the concept. And this is kind of where I was when I made the decision to kind of jump in and really get going on it. Or maybe you're just here because you've seen people do this. You really don't know if this is for you or not. And you're really just curious. You just want to say like, what goes into making an online course? I have no idea if I'd ever do it or not, but I'd love to learn anyways. Maybe that's you. If that's you, type number three in the comments. And I'd love to just see where you guys are at with this. And that's pretty much what we're going to talk about tonight is just how we do this. So before we get into the actual content, I really want you guys to just clear your mind of all doubts, clear your mind of all the can'ts, all the shouldn'ts, all the stuff. And I want you to believe that in this universe, because this is true, everything that you can imagine is possible. And if that were the case, if everything in the world was possible, what would you choose, right? Like you could create an online course and it could be amazing and it could lead you to being like, a Jenna Kutcher or a Angie Lee or something like that. You have no idea where this first step in creating your online course could take you. So don't count yourself out. Don't think that it's going to be hard. Anything and everything is possible. So go into this with a complete open mind that you can do this. Like if I can do this, anybody can do this. Okay. So I really want you to clear away the clutter, clear away any of that stuff and come into this with a total open mind. So why would you consider creating an online course? What would be the point of this, right? Well, first of all, I want you guys to know that there are actually 3.5 billion Google searches every single day for things. People are looking online for solutions to their problems and they're willing to pay for them, right? They're willing to buy them. Online learning is at an all-time high more than ever. And it's becoming like a household thing. Like everything that I've learned in my business so far, like not everything, because I have worked with masterminds and I have done group coaching programs, but everything like outside of those things, it's all been an online course that I purchased, that I've learned from, and then I've implemented. How many of you guys, like I asked at the beginning, how many of you guys have purchased an online course to learn something? How many, you probably started with Google and searched it and then found some courses or some things, and then you purchase it and then you learn and then you use it, right? And so it's really becoming a thing where people are starting to learn more online than even going to school. It's funny, we're having this conversation in our house as my teenagers are starting to get ready to go to university, and they're like talking about what they want to do and all these things. And to be honest, you guys, like I'm okay if they decide they want to become entrepreneurs and maybe they, don't want to do a 5-year degree or whatever at university, because there's so many things that they can learn in different ways. And I'm not even doing what I actually did in school now, right? Like I spent 4 years for graphic design and I really don't do that anymore or as much anymore. So online learning is becoming a really popular thing right now. And so the other reasons why you'd want to create an online course, because online courses are products that are available for anyone in the world to purchase if they find you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So someone could go onto my website right now, someone who's looking to build a business, they search, how do I start an online business? They find my website, they go, oh, she has a course that's going to teach me everything step by step. All right, they could buy it, purchase it, start learning all while I'm sleeping, right? So it's a great way to make passive income for you, for your family. And everybody who's watching this, whether you're live with me tonight or you're watching the replay, you guys all have solutions to problems people are searching for. People are searching for answers for problems, and I know that you have solutions to them, right? You had experiences, you have education, you have things that you could teach people online. So what this means to me is like, this is really an exciting time in business, you guys. Third world countries, like they're all just starting to get online right now. Millions and millions and billions of people are on the internet every single day. So this is a really exciting time to be able to like take your ideas and formulate them into products that people can purchase and learn from you. And to me, it's like mind blowing the opportunity that exists in the online space. Like to me, it's a really exciting time to be in business. So what is an evergreen course? Have you guys heard of that term, evergreen? And obviously, you know, online courses, but an evergreen online course is basically curated content that you've put together that people can buy online. And they can move through the lessons that you've created at their own pace. So there's nothing live here unless you add that as a component or something, but it's all recorded. It's all set up. It's work you do once and you put it online, and then people can buy it from you over and over and over and over again. And they move through it at their own pace. So that's what an evergreen course means. Evergreen means that it's always available for people to buy. So if you hear that term, now you know what it means. So now we're going to get into the 3 insanely easy steps, you guys, to creating your online course. So step number 1 is you need to have clarity. You really need to be clear on who it is you're talking to, who it is that you're going to help with your content. Now, I could do an entire lesson tonight on clarity. Obviously, we don't have time because we're focusing tonight on course creation, but clarity is really important. So when you're thinking of who your ideal client is, you know, you're going to look at things like, are they male or female? What age bracket are they in? Are they moms? Do they have kids? Do they work full time? You want to get as much detail as possible about your ideal client. And then when you kind of have that snapshot of who it is that you want to work with, knowing what you know, knowing how you're going to teach people what you want to teach them, right? What is their biggest struggles? What are the pain points that they face daily that you know you can help them with? So really be thinking about those things that they just wake up every day and they wish they had a solution for. What is the transformation that they would pay almost anything for, that you know you could help them with? And if you guys have transformations that you offer people or you offer your clients, type them in the comments. So for me, I help take the overwhelm and the stress and the confusion out of starting an online business. I know how I felt when I started my business, and there were so many things to think about: lead magnets and ideal clients and websites and logos and branding and all the kinds of things, right? And it can be overwhelming. Those are things that I'm really good at handling. So I help my clients move from that overwhelmed state to having a business that they feel really confident about launching. So what is that transformation that you offer your clients, right? And so that's when you're thinking of their struggles, you know, thinking of the thing that they really the most want help with, that you know you can help them with. Oops, I should probably move the slide forward. I got so into that. I get so really passionate about clarity, because everything you do in your marketing, around your course, around everything for your brand, needs to speak to your ideal client. So it's a really important piece of the puzzle for your business and for your courses. So what is the one result or transformation that they want the most help with? The thing that you know that you can help them with. Now, I want you to take a second. If you have a pen and paper, I want you to write down a couple of those things that come to mind. Like, what are some of those things? Write them down on paper. What are some of those pain points or those struggles that the person that you know you want to help with your course, what are they struggling with? What results are they seeking? Write a couple of things down and see what you come up with. And this is a really good thing to do. I have a whole clarity exercise where you can just like map it all out. So just like jot it all out on a piece of paper. Just anything and everything goes. Nothing is silly. And because the one that you're going to look at that list after, and the one that you know that you feel like is the biggest one, and you know you can help them with it, that's the one I want you to focus on. So circle the one that you feel is the biggest, is the biggest one for them that you know you have an answer for, that you can help them with. And this is going to be a really good starting point. If you're not sure what you could create your course on, this is going to be a really good starting point, is pick that biggest struggle. Now, a couple of things when it comes to clarity, before you start getting into creating content and doing all the things, research the thing that you think is what your course should be about. So if you think your course should be about, weight loss in your 50s, how to help women lose weight in their 50s, before you go and create a whole course around that, go find some people who would be your ideal clients. You probably have friends and family who fit that demographic, and ask them, like, what are your biggest struggles right now? What are the things that you want help with? Like, what if I could wave a magic wand and change something for you, what would that be? And ask them questions about, what kind of results they're looking for, and ask them if they've ever, purchased an online course before. Your ideal client might not even be online. And if that's the case, then you can just turn this off and go do something else. No, I'm just joking. Everybody's online. So, what is the one thing? And so do that research, find out what are there other people creating courses around that same result that you want to give people, right? So are there other programs out there that you can see, like, if you see that there's, 25 different courses or more different courses on the same thing, then you're on the right track, because obviously they're getting some success, right? So, so that's a really great way to kind of figure out if you're on the right track with something, is do research, and see what's going on out there. And I've even gone to the point, you guys, I've gone and I've signed up for other courses that were similar, just because I wanted to see what kind of things that they were sharing, so that I knew I was on the right track. Now, you don't have to do that. I always am a fan of doing things in your own way, but it is interesting to see how other people present information. And that's all part of the process. If you can do that, absolutely check that stuff out. So step number 2 is, now that we've got this clarity, we know what we want to do our course on, we've researched it, it's time to get into the meat and potatoes. It's time to really create the content for this. So how do we do that? So the first thing that you're going to do once you have your idea and you've researched it is you're going to reverse engineer the results. So going back to the sample of, you want to help women in their late 50s or in their 50s, they're empty nesters, the kids are gone, they haven't focused on themselves in years. They've, put on some extra pounds. They're looking to get healthier. They have more time. That's your ideal client. So their biggest thing is weight loss, and they want to get healthy. They want energy and be healthy and maybe lose a few pounds. So if that's the result they're looking for, is energy, weight loss, just feeling good overall, focusing on themselves, and you were a coach and somebody who helped people through that, what would be the first step? What would, reverse engineer that result? What would be the first thing that you would say to them to do? Like, maybe it's like, okay, first we need to review your eating habits. So maybe it's taking inventory of what's in your pantry, looking at, what do you eat in a day? Maybe you're doing just like an assessment on their habits. And maybe step 2 is like planning, like looking at what's in their cupboards and removing all of the things that, they need to do, like a pantry, overhaul. And maybe step 3 is looking at their exercise routine. What kind of things can they add into their routine, at that age? Like, what are some of the things that are going to benefit them? So it's reverse engineering the results is where you really want to start looking at. And so looking at those steps, when you kind of have a clear idea of some solid steps that you would take to get somebody that result, those, let's say 3 to 7, 8, 9 steps, I wouldn't do too many. But if you can do it in like a window of like 3 to 10, let's say, those become your modules in your course. Those are the lessons. Those are the chapters. People call them different things. I call them modules. Those are the modules in my course. So if you were to open up one of my courses, you would see there's 7 modules. And then each of those modules have some other smaller things in them. So I want you guys to, on that same piece of paper that you were writing the struggles down, you know, can you think of that result? Can you think of a couple of steps just to help getting you thinking and getting you in that motion of actually thinking it through? Because what this does, you guys, when you start to write things down on paper and you start to see like, yeah, I could teach people this. Yeah, I know things about this. Yeah, I could get somebody that result. It helps get the confidence to actually take action on building your course, right? Like as soon as I started to map out my very first course was actually to teach network marketers how to become, you know, 6-figure business owners. And so in my mind, because that was what I used to teach, I used to coach network marketers when I first started. I was like, okay, well, what did I do to get here? Well, one, I did a ton of personal development. I worked on my mindset. Number two, I actually connected with people. I networked. Number three. And so once I could see that I actually had a lot of things that I could share, I felt more confident in creating my course. I was like, yeah, I do have something here. I can teach people something. And that's really important because the more confident you are and the more positive and excited you are about what you're teaching, the better it's going to be for your sales, right? Is everybody following me so far? Am I going too fast? So write a couple of things down on your paper if you can and see what comes up. So then when you have those main sort of steps, right? So your main modules or your lessons, I want you to think about what are some of the micro steps that are going to be involved in each of those main steps. So the micro steps they could be smaller lessons within a lesson. So they might be like, you might do one main video and talk about it all in one video, or you might have one video here and then you have a couple smaller videos. Like let's say, for instance, if you're talking about habits, right? So habits is, changing your habits is going to be the first module in your course. What are the steps that belong with changing your habits? One, it's like doing an assessment on your eating, doing an assessment on your sleeping patterns, doing an assessment on your exercise routines, doing a mindset, assessment. And so those would be some of the smaller things that go within that lesson or that module. So this is a deeper dive into what you're going to teach them in each of those steps. So it's just fleshing out each of those steps and what's involved in each of those steps. And also be thinking about, are there any worksheets you can create or helpful documents or supporting things that you can create that are going to help them in that lesson? Because the biggest thing, and I cannot stress this enough, you guys, the biggest thing when you're creating an online course is you have to deliver the result. They have to have a result when they're a positive result after going through your program, because that's what's going to sell your program going forward. So if there's anything that you can add to these chapters, these lessons, that is going to make this the juiciest, most successful course for people, make sure you're thinking that through. So are there worksheets you can create? Maybe there's a meditation a meditation audio that you can add. Are there any guest experts that you can bring in to your course to do a class? Maybe they can record a module on something, or maybe you can do an interview with them and help, give more content from somebody else's perspective for your course, right? So having those guest experts is actually a really good thing also, because if you have guest experts in your course, they're more likely to share your course with other people because they have a hand in it. They're in there, right? And so that's another way to get exposure on your course. Is this making sense so far? I know there's a lot of things, but you guys, guess what? I've got a worksheet for you to help you map all of this out. So you would have gotten this in your email just not too long ago, and I will make sure it goes with the replay as well. But this is a worksheet that I created because I'm somebody who's visual. I need to be able to map things out and see them. I don't know if any of you guys can relate. Some people do this with Post-it notes on their wall. This was for me, this just kind of really worked for me. And so basically how it works is at the top in the green, you put the solution, or you could put the problem, whatever you want, the solution that you're going to be offering your ideal client. Okay. Who likes worksheets? Put it in the comments because I love them. And then each of these colored blocks underneath, these are your lessons. These are the steps, the reverse engineered steps to creating the result for your client. So then the little boxes underneath, these little boxes down here, This is where you're going to be breaking out those micro steps. So for me, for instance, clarity, as you can see, I'm super passionate about clarity because I have a whole module on it in my course. So I really want to break out, what does it mean to have clear? If my ideal client is a new entrepreneur who wants to build their new online business, my first step for them is clarity. They need to know who their clients are. They need to know who they are. They need to know what kind of brand message they want to put out there. They need to know what transformation they want to offer. There's so much that goes into that. So those are the micro steps. And then there's a worksheet questionnaire I have for them. If there's a guest speaker, you can add those things in there. So that's just to help you map out the main lessons and then all the steps that go for each of those lessons. So you can see tonight where it says you are here, we're talking about product creation, and I'm going through the steps that would be part of this module. So basically I've broken out this module from my course and I'm teaching it to you here. As you can see, there's obviously a lot of things that go into, getting something ready to be sold, but this is where we are. So you can see this is a prime example of how to map out a course. Does that make sense? Is everybody excited about a worksheet? I am. Okay, so now that we have that all done, so now you've got all your content mapped out, you're feeling really good, you know what you're going to teach in each of the things. Now we need to figure out, how are we going to format this content into something that we can package and sell, right? We want to be able to package this up. So how many of you guys love technology? Say I do in the comments. How many of you guys go like this when it comes to technology and you're scared of it? And this is the part that probably trips you up the most. I want you guys to know that it's not that difficult, okay? I really want you to go into this with the mindset, if you're somebody who's not a tech person, I'm a total tech geek, so I love this kind of stuff. But if you're not that kind of person, just know that it can be done. It doesn't have to be difficult. So go into it with the mindset that you can totally do this. Okay. So in the step 3 in creating, I want to just really strongly recommend that with those modules, with those lessons, including maybe some of those micro lessons, when you're sharing your content, video is going to be the most powerful way to share your content. As you can see tonight, having the video, having my voice, being able to see my face, talking, there's a connection that gets made through video, that if you didn't see me, or this, you could only hear my voice, or it was just slides with content on them and no voice, it would be pretty dull. It'd be pretty boring. And that's going to lose people's interest. And again, our goal is to make sure they get a result. And the only way they're going to get a result is if they follow the steps and they do the full course. So we need to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to deliver content in a way that's going to be best for them to do the whole thing and get the results, so that we can get those testimonials. So video, if you're afraid of it, it's time to not be afraid of it. If you're going to be creating online courses, it's time to get comfortable with it. And I promise you, it's not that scary. So I recommend videos with slides, much like what I'm doing tonight. And you can use tools like Canva to create your slide decks. This slide deck, as you can see, is super simple. This is just bullet points on a slide with my logo on it. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing fancy. You don't have to have it all designed up and totally crazy, right? And Canva actually has templates that you can use if you wanted to that does the design work for you. You just pop in your bullet points. But to be honest, I recommend white slide, 1 or 2 colors and a logo, and you're good to go. So keeping things really simple is really important when it comes to presenting your content. Now, here's the other thing, you guys. The bullet points on these slides, they're for me. You can read them, and I don't recommend you write them all down. I recommend you actually listen to what I'm saying, because there's more coming out of what I'm saying than what's on the slides. But the bullet point slides, the bullet points are for me to make sure that I stay on track, to make sure that I'm delivering all the information that I know needs to be delivered. So it's to keep me from going off in tangents, which I can totally do. And it also keeps it keeps me on track with what I want to say, so I don't miss anything. So that's why slides are important. It's more for me than it is for them. But some people like to be able to read and listen at the same time. So going back, thinking to your ideal client, would they prefer slides or not? Most of them, I think, would. So Canva is also great for creating any supporting documents and worksheets. So if you wanted to create a questionnaire, if you wanted to create a journaling prompt, if you wanted to create any kind of document, PDF document, it's great software for doing that as well. And it's canva.com is where you can check that out. So then to record your videos and do your training, I'm using Zoom right now, which is allowing me to share my screen and also keep my video here. Zoom does also allow you to stream live through Facebook, which is pretty cool. But if you're creating a course, it's not going to be live. It's just going to be recorded. So I'm recording this right now. And I'm actually not recording this right now, so I'm gonna have to do this again. Anyways, it's okay. This is, actually, no, you know what? There's gonna be a recording on Facebook, so I can get it from there. Sweet. Sorry, anybody can do this. So you use Zoom, or you can use something like Loom to record yourself doing the presentation much like this. And so this is what you do, is you talk, you record, you get those recordings, and you upload them into your software. It's pretty much all it is. You guys, don't overcomplicate this. So you upload your recordings and you upload your PDF worksheets to course creation software. Okay, so these are software programs that you invest in. Typically, they have a dollar amount that you have to pay monthly in order to be able to house your information. They also take care of any transactions. So you can have, so when someone pays with their Visa for your course, these types of programs have all of that software stuff included. Basically, all you do is you sign up for it, set up your account, and then you can go ahead and start creating your course, which means you're uploading your content and your documents into their formatted templates. And so a couple of those course creation softwares, I've used Teachable, which is fairly inexpensive and it's fairly user-friendly. Thinkific is another one that is a course creation software. I have not used that one, so I don't know if it's super user-friendly or not. I think that most of them pretty much are. But my recommendation, and I'll tell you why, is Kajabi. That's what I use for my courses and my content. And that is because Kajabi is a full service platform. So Kajabi is my website, it's my email system, it's my course creation. It houses my courses and creates my products. If I wanted to do a webinar, it does all the things for webinar. If I needed a landing page for one of my lead magnets or my opt-ins, it does all of that stuff. So it's an all-in-one program. And I actually give everybody a 28-day free trial of Kajabi. You can use it free for 28 days. You can practice by uploading content and playing around with it and seeing how it looks. And you can, like I said, use it totally free for 28 days. So I'll get that link and post it underneath this video after it's done. But yeah, so that's the one I recommend. They are the leader in course creation software, in my opinion. Okay. So then once you have your course, it's uploaded into your course creation software, you guys, and you're ready, you think you're ready to go, but you're not ready yet because you have to test your course. We need to make sure that people understand the content, that they are actually doing the work, that they're getting results, that it's not confusing, and that it makes sense, right? So we need to test these programs out. So find a beta group of people. So like, again, family members, friends, anybody who may fit your ideal client avatar. And typically what I've done in the past is I give it to people for free. I would say, hey, listen, can you go through this course? You know, especially people who I know are needing this content. I'll give this to you for free. You go through it. Let me know if there's anything you would change or anything that didn't make sense or anything that you felt was missing, and get that feedback from them. And in exchange, you also want to get a testimonial. Okay. Testimonials are critical for your launch. If you don't have testimonials, you don't have any social proof that your course actually works for people, right? So you need the feedback so you can make the edits to your course, but you need the testimonials because that's what's going to help sell your course when it comes time to actually launch it. So do not skip the testing phase. You guys, I did that for a course I created when I was still coaching network marketing. I created a whole mindset course for network marketers because I thought that's what they wanted. I knew that's what they needed, but I thought that's what they would want. And I thought they'd be willing to pay for a course on mindset. And so I created this whole course over the summer. I launched it, you guys. I didn't have any sales. because network marketers they know they need mindset, but they don't want to pay to do a course on it. They want to pay for a course on making money. Like that was, so for me, I didn't test it. I just created it and launched it, and it was a flop. And I learned a big lesson there is that anytime you have this kind of stuff that you want to put out there, make sure you test it, do that research, do that back end work before you get into creating everything, because then if not, you just end up wasting a lot of time, which is what I did. I mean, it's never a waste of time. I always learn something. Like I learned a lot about creating a course and all that kind of stuff. There's always a lesson, but just research it. Okay, so those testimonials are critical for the launch phase and the sales page of your course. So make sure you get some of those before you actually launch it. And then once it's tested and you've edited it, if you need to, then you're ready to release it to the world. Now, launching is a whole nother class. Like I honestly would be here for another hour talking about launching. But you can just put it out there if you want to, but you need to tell people about it. You need to like have an audience and share it with them and do lots of things when it comes to launching. But at this point, you are ready. You have a course you could sell at this point. Everything's good to go. Now, this is a big one, and I want you guys to start thinking of your questions. So if you have questions and you're watching, you can start putting them in the comments so I can go back, because we're going to do Q&A soon. When it comes to pricing your program, this is actually the biggest question that I get when I help my clients create their online courses is, what do I charge? How much do I charge for this? So I want to touch on pricing your product before we wrap up here tonight. So the bigger the transformation you offer with your program, the more you can charge. And so, like I say, if you're doing a how to macrame course, okay, let's just say that, how to macrame. Okay, that's great. And some people are out there needing to know how to macrame, but it's not a life-changing kind of course. So you can't charge, well, I'm going to say, in my opinion, I don't think you could charge, $2,000 for a macrame course. But if you have a program that guarantees someone is going to, lose 50 pounds, sleep better at night, and, have more energy than they ever had before, that's a transformation for people. Like that's a life-changing transformation. So there's more value to that. And so that could typically have a bigger price point. So do your research. Look at what's the average, what's the going rate for the type of content, type of solution. I know macrame, I don't know. What is the solution that you're offering, and what are other people charging for that same solution? What are you seeing? What is an average, right? There are probably going to be some things all over the board, but what are the average prices for your programs? And whatever you think the price should be, you guys, I'm always going to suggest you add a little bit more. And that's because we typically tend to want to lower our pricing because of there's a lot of self-worth and mindset and like, oh my God, I'm putting this out there. I don't know. Like there's a lot of that stuff that goes on in our head. I don't know if anybody can relate. I do it all the time. And so I always add a little bit more, because what happens is that, let's just say I think the price should be $199. So what I would do is actually price it at $299 or $297, because when someone pays $297 for it, then my value of myself and my worth, like now I know that that's like my baseline just went up, right? And so because we typically tend to undervalue what we're putting out there. And when it comes to it, at the end of the day, you got to test it. Like you can put a price point on it, throw it out there. If you're finding that people are buying it left, right, and center, and it's like you're selling 20 or 50 of them a day, maybe you should move your price up a little bit, right? Because maybe you're like totally underpriced, or maybe leave it at that and just sell it at the price. But that would tell me that maybe you need to raise the price. People are getting good value out of it. They're sharing it. You could probably earn a little bit more off of it. But if you've got it at a price and nobody's buying it, they're looking at it, but they're not buying it, maybe it's overpriced, right? Again, when you do that research and testing, ask your beta testers, what would you pay for this? Get an idea. And don't think that because you're new and you're creating this course that you need to give, an 8-module transformation course away for $29 because you're new. That's bullshit too. We don't do that, right? We base it on the value we provide for our clients. So don't think that because you're new, it needs to be cheaper. It is based on the value. You may have 10 years or 20 years of training and education on that transformation you provide. And just because this is your first time putting yourself out online and creating a course, that doesn't mean you need to be cheap. That doesn't mean you need to undervalue it because you're new. You've got all that background. That's worth something. So making sure that you keep your prices in line with the value and not because you're a new entrepreneur. And you guys, when it comes to pricing, perception is everything. So when you think of this is an example that I use often to help you understand this. You could have two people who offer the exact same program, exact same steps, like these are the exact same programs. And there's two different coaches. One coach is charging $120 for his program, and the other coach is charging $1,200 for hers. Who do you think has the better course? You don't know that they're the exact same, but they offer the same kind of transformation. Who has the better course in your mind? The $120 course or the $1,200 course, right? Your perception of what has better value can also be played into the price. So if you've got your course priced at $29 and someone else is selling it for, $1,200, people might not buy yours because they think it's crap. So be careful of that also when it comes to pricing your programs. Woo! Are you guys still with me? I'm talking a lot, but I love it. Yeah, the $1,200. Awesome. Yes. Okay, so we're almost wrapping up here. Thank you guys for sticking with me. We are going to talk right now about 5 common mistakes when it comes to creating online programs. And the first one is perfection. You do not have to make these things super perfect. They don't have to be filmed in a studio. You don't have to have, hair and makeup done. You don't have to do any of that stuff, you guys. I have seen amazing content-filled courses done with one of the girls I follow. One of the girls I've done a couple of her courses. She's like in a top knot in her gym clothes, sitting in her backyard with her laptop in front of her, and she's recording content. I think in one module, her doorbell rang, and I swear to God, she got up and did something and came back. But the content was really good. I don't recommend that you go like that, but my point is that it wasn't overproduced. She wasn't super concerned that everything was perfect. She just really wanted to show up and give value. So if perfectionism is stopping you from doing your course, you need to ditch that. It's going to evolve. It's going to change. My courses, when I look at my first course compared to the kind of courses I'm creating now, they're night and day, and they're just going to keep evolving. So just get that first thing out there, record yourself. I mean, you can look decent if you want and whatever, all those things, but don't feel like if you're using the excuse that you don't have the time to go into a studio and create these modules and do all these things, you're overthinking it. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mistake number 2, and you've heard me talk about this a few times now, is not testing it, not doing the research and not testing it. You guys, it's imperative that you get the testing part done, because those testimonials are so important when it comes to launching. And that's another really common mistake, is people don't launch their stuff properly. You need to make sure when you're launching that you have a build up to it, that you have an audience that's waiting for you to open the doors to your program. You got to have things in place. You got to be omnipresent online. You got to do some things to really get prepared to open the doors for your thing. You got to create excitement, create buzz. You can't just create a program and put it out online and say, okay, I created a program. Here's a link, go buy it. That's not going to work, right? You have to put some effort in behind it. A mistake people make is they think, oh, well, I'll create that course when I have 30,000 followers, because then everyone will buy it and it will be super easy for me. You guys, that's a total mistake. You can sell. And when I sold my first course and I made that $2,000, I had a Facebook group of, I want to say maybe 100 people. And my email list was at 0, maybe 50 people at that time. So I didn't have a lot of people, but what I had done was I had launched it properly. I had built up momentum with the people that I did have. And when I did open the doors to my program, they bought it and they loved it, right? So you don't have to wait till you have a ton of followers, but if you do things in the right way, you can do a really successful launch with just a few followers, just a small list, right? And then this is a huge mistake that I really want to stress that people make, is they do their first course, they launch it, maybe they do everything right, but it's still not successful for whatever reason. It just missed the mark. You guys, don't base your success or failure in business off of one course. I've failed at many courses. I've done lots of different things. My husband can attest. I don't know if he's still on, but I've created lots of different things, you guys. It's all a trial and error, you guys. This business is a long game. This is about trying and figuring it out, thinking you got it. You've done all the testing, everything, putting it out there. And maybe it's a huge success. Maybe it's amazing, but there's still going to be other things you're going to have to create in the future. So you can't just go, okay, I just did one course and I'm done. I'm a huge success now. There's going to be modifications. There's going to be things you're going to want to change. There's going to be things that get outdated. This is going to be an ongoing thing. But for the most part, you can build it, leave it, let it make money and be passive, and then revisit it every so often, right? And do the updates. But don't base your failure in business or don't think that you're a failure in business if your first course is not that great, okay? Because it is an evolution. It is a trial and error. And it's like I said, it's a long game. 100%. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move into where I'm going to start sharing some of the gifts and things that I have for you guys. While I'm doing that, I want you to be thinking of questions. And if you can post any questions about course creation or online business, anything, you guys, I'm here. I'm going to be here to answer your questions as long as there are questions to answer. So I want you to start putting those in the comments if you have any questions. And as you guys are doing that, I'm going to share a few things with you guys. So the first thing I want to ask you guys is, who's feeling more confident about creating their first online course now that they've gone through these steps? Now that you've heard this training and you kind of see, okay, it's like step 1, I just got to get clear. Step 2, I just got to create some content. And step 3, I just got to put it all together in a course. Obviously it's a little bit more than that, but you kind of see it's not that big of an undertaking to create an online course. So who's starting to feel more confident? If you are starting to feel more confident, put me or put yes in the comments. Who's starting to feel a little bit more confident about moving forward with their idea? Type yes in the comments. And I'm going to take a drink of water while you guys are thinking about that. Awesome. All right. So who feels like they'd still like a little bit more help? Who's like, you know what? This has been great. I really want to do this. I'm feeling more confident, but I'd really like it much better if you were still helping me. You know, if I could run some ideas past someone, if I could, have someone who helps me with the tech and the setup and the social or in the software, maybe who can help me figure out Canva and get in behind there and help me make sure everything's looking good. Would that be helpful? If that's you, if you're still feeling like maybe some more help would be good, type me in the comments, because I have a few options, you guys, to help keep this rolling for you. Don't let the momentum die. If you love this and you're thinking this is for you, keep rolling with it, you guys. Like I said, this could totally change your life. I know for me, after creating my first online course, that was what gave me the confidence to really go all in to my online coaching business. And you guys, this is like this year will be my first year. I've been in business for 4 years, so we're going to be doing well over 6 figures this year. And this was just a little idea that I had that I was like, oh, maybe I could do this. And I put out this course and it just triggered more and more and more and more, right? So if that's something that you feel like you still need help with, type me in the comments. Well, the first thing I want to do is give you guys all a free gift. So everybody on this call tonight is going to receive a free strategy call with me. So you're going to get 30 minutes. You can book your strategy call with the link here. And my husband, if he's somewhere close to the computer, is going to put it in the comments. And so you can use this link, you guys, to book a 30-minute strategy call with me. Let's talk about your ideas. Let's talk about maybe where you're stuck. Let's talk about how I can help support you. I'm an ideas girl. I love to talk about things that you can do to help get things going. I love to inspire action and motivation. So I want to give everybody who's watching this a free 30-minute call to help you move the needle forward for your business. So that is my gift to you. Definitely book one with me. I love these calls. We do them on Zoom so we can see each other and I can show you things and whatever. So make sure that you take advantage of that, because I don't put this out there very often because my schedule can get pretty full. So make sure that you book one of those, and that is totally my gift to you guys. And my second gift, or my second thing that I want to share with you guys, if you're feeling like you want someone to walk you through this process, maybe you are brand new, maybe you are like just in the ideas phase of your business. Maybe this is something that you're ready to start taking action on, you guys. I have spaces opened up right now for my 90 Days to Build Your Dream Hustle group coaching program. And this is a group coaching program that I walk you through over 90 days, all of those steps. Remember that the chart that I showed you with the steps, the clarity, and then there was the branding and the website and all those things. We walk through those steps together. Every call that we're on, I'm teaching you something. You have time for a question and answer. It has been my most successful group coaching program. I actually think a few of my clients might even be on this call. So, you've been through it. But this is the way that I love to support my clients the best, because in a group setting, not only do you get time with me, but you get time with the group. So you're learning from each other. Each call, there's lots of different things that come up, and you get to support each other. There's a Facebook group. There's all kinds of things that come with it. I'll show you that in a second. If you want to go and check out the program, you can go to shanarecker.com/90 days. There's information on there. If you want to instantly snag your spot in this space, because space is limited for this, you can hit the join now and jump in. We start March 16th, the week of March 16th. So what's it include? It includes 3 months of working together on your business. So whether maybe you have a business started and you want to create the course and that's what you want to focus on, we can focus on that. If you are just an idea phase and you want to build the whole thing out, we can do that. It also includes the 6 group coaching calls that we work together with. And it also includes 3 private calls. So you and I on a call for 60 to 90 minutes going through exactly the things that you need worked on your business. It could be strategy for social media growth. It could be graphic design, because that's my background. It could be figuring out the technology. It could be whatever it is that you need for your individual business. That's what we're going to work on in those private calls. You also get my Dream Hustle Academy online course that I'm actually in the process of completely revamping. 2.0 is coming. You will get access to the old one and the new one. And you also get my Build Your Podcast Blueprint. It's another online course that I built to teach you how to create a podcast. So here are some testimonials from some people who I've worked with, who I love these stories because Lindsay, for instance, was one of them, who came to me with literally an idea of, she's a naturopathic doctor. At the time she joined my group coaching program, she wanted to be able to help more people outside of the office. Like, she was like, I only see people in my office. I know there's a bigger, better way that I can serve. I want to create an online presence and build programs online. That was what she wanted. So since her and I worked together, she has created her own online brand. She has her own website. She's grown her social media followers. So she's well over 6,000 now. She's got an email list. She's created multiple group coaching programs for her clients, and she serves more people online than she's ever served before. And I had such a great time working with her. And so Lindsay has just definitely opened up her world by starting to do things online. Then there's Leslie. Leslie is a yoga instructor, a spiritual coach. She came to me with a business already started. She had already had her website done, her branding done. And so when we started together, she wanted to grow outside of what she'd already created. She wanted to create a membership program. She wanted to create a group coaching program as well. And so when she came to me, she was kind of all over the place. She needed some guidance. She needed someone to kind of bring her down and say, okay, this is what we need to focus on. Since we've been working together, she has revamped her entire website. She's moved it all over to Kajabi. She has done a complete rebrand with her photos. She's grown her social media following. She started a podcast. You can find her on iTunes. Just look up Leslie Sprague. She's created an online membership for her clients, so a monthly membership. And she is also starting a private coaching package for her clients as well. And I know she has said this to me multiple times. It's the best investment she's made for her business, hands down. So she has made a huge transformation in our time together. And then lastly, Jen Anderson. I love this testimonial, and I love Jen's transformation, because she came to me with literally a little light bulb of an idea. She was just like, I don't like what I'm doing right now. I need to do something else. I just know I want to make women happy. I've experienced a lot of things in my life, and I found a way to make myself happy, and I want to teach other women how to do the same. Can you help me? And I was like, yes, I can help you. So now she is a happiness life coach. She built her website, her branding. She's grown her social media following, you guys. She creates live events now that supports women. She does group coaching programs. She's had an amazing transformation in our time together, and we've just had a lot of fun building. And the best thing about all this kind of stuff, guys, is like, we're friends for life after you do this stuff. I talk to all of these clients, even Shonda, who's on here too. She gave a testimonial. We talk all the time, and we do stuff together. So it's just fun to watch them grow and transform. So who am I looking for this group coaching program? So I'm looking for somebody who wants to build an income online. So they want to take what they know and they want to share it. They're ready. They're ready to show up in a big way. They're ready to do the work. They're ready to like put some of the fears beside and just go for it. I want someone who's ready to learn and to learn what I teach and put it into action, because there's no sense in joining this if I'm going to teach you all these things and you're not going to do anything with it, right? The point is that you're going to actually take action on what you're learning. And I need someone who's positive and coachable. That's super important to be positive, because this is a group of women. We all have fun together. We're like-minded. We keep things as positive as we can. We share our wins, and also be coachable, right? So I've been doing this for a long time. I've learned from some great people. I know what I'm doing. So be coachable when I give suggestions and things like that. They're for a reason, right? So coachability is absolutely important. So if you feel like that is you guys, I encourage you to go check out the program, shanarecker.com/90 days. And if you're not sure if this is for you guys, book one of the strategy calls with me. Let's get on the phone. We'll talk about your business. We'll talk about what you want to create for yourself, and let's see if the program is a fit, right? It might be, you might not be ready for it. I don't know until we've had that conversation. So I do have a huge bonus for you guys tonight. So I'm gifting the first 5 people who want to claim their spot in this 90-day group coaching program $500 off enrollment. So when you choose to invest in the pay in full option, you can use the code COURSE, COURSE. Did I put that somewhere? Yeah, here it is. Use the code COURSE when you choose the pay in full option, and it'll take $500 off the total. So, and then you're in, you've got one of the spots. So the first 5, and I'll know when I've hit the 5. So if you want to book a call first and chat first, go for it. If you want to just claim one of the spots and get the $500 off, you absolutely can. Any questions about anything I shared tonight, the program, the coaching on all the things? I want to see if there's any questions here. I want to answer any of your questions. Course creation, online business, any of those things, you guys, I'm here for you. Let's have a little jam session. I'm going to go through the comments right now and see if there's any questions. We should hang out. All right. Thank you guys all so much for joining me here tonight. I love it. I love seeing all these familiar names on the comments here. You guys, I love doing this. This is like my favorite thing is live coaching. Shonda says, I had my business up and running within the 90 days, website and all. She loves this program. Yes, Shonda's an amazing copywriter. She helps me with my copy. She's awesome. All right, guys, is there any questions for me about anything to do with online business? I'm going to give you guys a minute to catch up because I know there's a bit of a lag here with this. Anybody scheduled their call yet? Does anybody want to jump on the phone and talk about your business? I would love that. I love talking about business. Awesome, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Who's ready to create their first course? Yo! And thank you, Jason, for posting all the links. You're such a helpful guy. All right, guys. I don't see anybody's questions. You can also put questions if something comes to you guys after tonight, and you think, oh, I should have asked that. Go to the video in the Facebook group and you can type it in the comments, and I'll come back and look at it, and I can do some live videos and stuff to answer some of your questions, if that helps. So I am going to be sending out this offer for the $500 off to my list, my email list of I think there's like 1,300 people on it right now, tomorrow. So I'm going to be the $500 off coupons are going to be probably gone after tomorrow. So if you want to snag one of those, either book your call with me tomorrow, if you can, and or message me, DM me on Instagram as well at Sheena Recker, and we can chat there too. And let's figure out if this is going to be for you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. If there aren't any questions, I'm going to let you guys go, get back to our family time. And I appreciate you here. There will be a replay coming in your inbox if you missed this. I just have to get it off Facebook now because I didn't hit record on Zoom, but that's okay. See, anybody can do this. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now, guys.